What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we're going to be talking about Nvidia stock because this stock exploded and it's actually on some Metaverse news. In case you guys haven't heard of it, we're going to explain what the Metaverse is, why it's causing Nvidia's stock price to go up, and where Nvidia could be going in the future. So let's take a look at the chart first of all, and you can see that they've had an absolutely incredible past 2 years and an even more incredible day, right? They opened today around $272 and they just closed around $298. They broke $300 for the first time in history. You can see they've never been up past $300 before per share, and they just did it today. So incredible stuff. They weren't able to maintain it, but we'll see what happens over the next couple of days, right? So the reason that Nvidia was skyrocketing today is actually because of a price hike from an analyst who raised their price target by 30% on a $10 billion opportunity presented by the Metaverse. Now, I understand a lot of you guys may have never heard of the Metaverse. You don't know what it is, but you are likely going to be hearing about it a lot more in the future. Facebook just changed their name to Metaverse. That change is coming through in December when FB, the ticker symbol FB, will start being MVRS. So it is definitely something of the future. People are going to start talking about the Metaverse a lot more, and it would probably do you well to know a little bit about it. So I'm going to break it down for you here. But first, I will break down the Nvidia upgrade, right? So a Wells Fargo securities analyst, Aaron Raker, reiterated an overweight rating on Nvidia and bumped up the price target from $245 to $320. And you can see on the chart that we almost hit 320 today, right? We got to 313 and we closed yesterday at 265. So a massive gain for Nvidia stock on this price target hike. But the thesis behind why they raised the price target is because of Nvidia's Omniverse. Different from the Metaverse, right? Nvidia's Omniverse is a key enabler platform for the development of the Metaverse. So the best way to explain that is just to take you right to it and show you what the Omniverse is. It's basically some Nvidia software that allows you to build things in the Metaverse, right? And the Metaverse is basically a virtual reality collaborative space, and you can see right here, the best way is probably just to play a little bit of this video to explain it to you guys, not to play all of it, but just to skip through, and you can see some of the stuff that you can create with the Omniverse in the Metaverse, right? So it's a little bit convoluted, right? You're using the Omniverse to create the Metaverse, but you can see all of these are digital creations that Nvidia is touting as things that you can do in the Metaverse with their software, Nvidia Omniverse, right? So they're selling this as a package. You can buy it for $9,000 per year, right? The Omniverse Enterprise subscription starts at $9,000 per year for a work group of 2 creators, 10 reviewers, and 4 Nucleus subscriptions. I'm not sure what the Nucleus subscriptions are, but basically this is not made for the everyday person, right? Not everyone is going to be buying this. This is for creators, and you can actually see it right on their website. They're marketing this to creators, designers, and engineers who want to connect major design tools and assets to the virtual space so that they can create stuff in VR. So that's what the Omniverse is, and that is why Nvidia stock is rising so much. And I will point out, if you guys are interested, real quick, this has nothing to do with the Omniverse or Metaverse, but on all of my videos, you can get 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300 with WEBULL. When you open an account, you just have to click on the link. There's a link in the description of this video, and you can get 2 free stocks for opening an account and depositing as little as 1 penny to get the second free stock. So I will point that out real quick. And now I will stop talking about the Omniverse and Metaverse because you guys are here because you want to know about Nvidia stock, right? Not the future of the Omniverse and VR as we know it, right? So we're going to break down the short interest on Nvidia real quick. You can see it is absolutely minuscule. People know Nvidia is a good company. The short interest as a percentage of the free float is less than 1%. So basically, nobody's shorting this. Though you can see it has increased slightly today, right? We're up 3% change-wise, so a very small change regarding the short interest. But a couple more people are shorting it just because they saw a massive pump in the price, but still very few, right? People know Nvidia is a great company. You can see what it's done over the past 2 years. People look at that and think it would be very foolish to short and think that they're picking the top before some big crash, right? It would be very difficult to do that, and it looks like nobody's trying because people know Nvidia is a very good company. They're very strong. Even earnings-wise, they make decent earnings. We can take a look at that in a minute. But first, we'll look at some of the other statistics regarding Nvidia. First off, we'll talk about their recent rise to popularity to the #1 trending stock on Reddit and Wall Street Bets. This can only be a good thing for them over the short term, at least, right? The fact that they are getting so much press on Reddit and Wall Street Bets, they're up to #1 on the charts with 1,100 mentions and over 6,000 upvotes. Okay, people on Reddit are likely going to swarm to this like flies to honey because people on Reddit are fans of the multiverse. Or the that's Marvel, the Metaverse, And the fact that Nvidia is helping with that, something tells me a lot of people are going to want to be buying Nvidia stock, at least from Reddit Wall Street Bets. You can also see on Google Trends, we've gotten record search rankings today regarding at least the last week. We haven't been nearly as high as this in the past while. And you can see we got the top ranking of 100. So this is obviously doing very well on Google. On StockTwits as well, the number one trending stock, right? Not the number one most active, because typically it's trader stocks that are the most active. But Nvidia at least has been rising the rankings to become the number one trending stock, right? So the most new mentions over a short period of time. So interesting stuff, right? It's being touted on not just Reddit, not just Google, but StockTwits as well. So people are looking at it everywhere. Now, Nvidia stock itself, where is it going to go over the next couple of weeks? That's what you guys are probably wondering. Is it a buy right now? Well, I will have to say it is fairly expensive, right? I think this might be a slight overreaction, but obviously, if you look past over the past 2 years, we've been doing incredibly well, and all of these big bursts in stock price seem a lot more significant at the time, right, than they do looking back. But what's important to remember with Nvidia stock is that their earnings calls are actually almost always wins, because the earnings call is coming up on November 17th. And unfortunately, this earnings call might actually be a little bit of a drawback for Nvidia, I'm suspecting. Unfortunately, that might be the case because their earnings, though always wins, if you look, they've always beat earnings expectations. And we don't actually have earnings expectations out quite yet, but they've always beat the expectations. And what might happen in this situation is, because we are experiencing such a massive rise right before earnings, unless we have a little bit of a drop or a little dip before the earnings call comes out, I do worry that the earnings might bring a little bit more reality into perspective regarding Nvidia stock, right? If they come out in 2 weeks and the earnings just don't justify a valuation this large, some people may choose to sell the stock. I'm not suggesting that it will be a massive crash. It might look more like a little correction like we've seen in the past. But that's just a possibility, right? That's not guaranteed. We could certainly continue rising, right? This is amazing news, right? The fact that they, though the Omniverse has been announced for a while, the fact that analysts are finally recognizing how important it is for their company and starting to slap some numbers like a $10 billion valuation, $10 billion valuation on it, that is good for Nvidia, right? So I think Nvidia, over the long term, certainly going to do very well. And while this wouldn't be a horrible buying point over the long term, over the next couple of weeks, I could see it being a little bit rocky with this earnings call coming out in just about 2 weeks. It looks like we're going to be having that earnings call, so I would be a little wary of that. A little bit wary of buying in at these prices. I think that potentially at earnings you could get it on a little bit of a dip, which we might see. Not guaranteed though, right? I'm not telling you guys, this isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you not to buy the stock right now. If you love this company and you love what they're doing, obviously you can buy the stock if you want, but we are up 12%, and that might be a record for Nvidia stock over the short term at least. I don't think we've been up 12% in a day for quite a while. So this is a record gain on the day, at least for the past while. I can't see anything over the past year or so that's been 12% or more gain-wise. So take that with a grain of salt, though, right? If you're really interested in NVIDIA, obviously it's a great company. I own NVIDIA, so I obviously support it. I'm not selling here. I don't think it's going to crash, but that's just my opinion on what the price might do over the coming weeks. I don't know if we'll sustain these levels, right? 300 seems to have acted as a bit of resistance for us, okay? So maybe we'll go above 300, but it looks like we tried, right? We were up at 313, then bounced off, and you can actually see right here, we had a bounce right off of 300 right here before getting to close, and we haven't moved up since close. So we're going to have to see what happens with NVIDIA stock, but I do suspect that we might have a little bit of a dip in the coming weeks. Don't quote me on that, though, right? That's just my opinion. I can only guess at these things just as well as you guys based off of my experience, but that's what I had to say about NVIDIA stock. Very promising opportunity with the Multiverse and Nvidia Omniverse. And I think I said multiverse, but I meant metaverse. Anyways, feel free to join us in the live streams every day at 9. We'll surely be talking about NVIDIA stock in tomorrow's live stream if you're interested in that. Other than that, guys, if you could like the video, that would be much appreciated. That's the best way to get it out for the algorithm and all that. So have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one.